Hello everyone and welcome back. So got a battle here sent to me by a viewer. His username is Sei he is yellow and blue here, and he's going to do an interesting job of taking care of this camper in this battle. I have a lot of complaints with what he did, but well, let's watch and learn. Okay, let's take a look at the setups. For yellow here we have 5 Katana Samurai, mostly veterans, 5-star at least, but they have one fresh one over here. A Yari Ashigaru, his general here, of course, who is a leadership general, I believe. He's not a melee general, he doesn't have a bow, so I'm assuming he's leadership. But then, nice big cavalry complement. Let's see, there are 2 Great Guards, 3 Bow Cavalry, and then 2 Yari Cavalry. So a pretty interesting cavalry component. We'll see what he can do with it up in the battle. In the meantime, let's take a look at the camper over here, blue. Alright, let's take a look at him. 2 Bow Samurai, a Bow Warrior Monk, a Bow Ashigaru, 2 Yari Ashigaru, 5 Lone Sword Ashigaru, a Katana Samurai, and that looks like it's it for right now. For a large-sized battle, though, this is a pretty small force, especially considering there's a lot of fresh units. Let's see, I think, yeah, 5 of them are fresh, so definitely should be expecting an ambush. So Yellow will do a pretty good job of sitting his infantry in a nice protected area while his cavalry goes ahead for preliminary action. Let's see. So yeah, not a very expensive army here. He's got like Bow Warrior Monk, pretty high level. Bow Samurai, they're only level 3 veterans. Most of them are around level 3 to 5 for his veterans, so definitely has something in hiding. Good work for Yellow. Coming up early and trying to scout ahead to see what kind of nasty surprises might be in store, because you know there's going to be one, especially considering the fact that Yari Ashigaru comes over in the forest. Now when you see spears off on their own in the forest, they're definitely guarding something. And it's probably not cavalry, seeing as, well, why'd you have spears guarding cavalry? That's silly. So that should send you a message that it's probably a siege weapon. Siege weapons did get nerfed pretty hard in the last patch, but some people still bring them. Here we go, 2 Great Guards coming out. 2 veterans, one's only level 1 and one's level 4 though, so nothing too serious. A Bow Cavalry is coming up here to kind of scout ahead, and meanwhile Yellow's forces is moving up to this little hill here to just get a nice little vantage point and just wait it out, see what the cavalry's going to do, try for some early cavalry action, and just going to sit tight there. Now look where blue is setting up. Just kind of sitting in his deployment. But first of all, we have to stop and take a look at what just popped out. European cannons. Now if you're suspecting the enemy has an ambush, and it might be siege weapons, you definitely want to check, because if it's European cannons, they can get a shot off and their projectiles fire a lot faster than other siege weapons, and if you don't notice it in time, you only have a couple seconds before they can hit your general, and it's very hard to dodge them if they catch you by surprise. So very good there, scouting and drawing them out, making them shoot at the cavalry. This cavalry is kind of a bad spot, as you can see from this angle. It's a perfectly straight firing angle, so they're in serious danger of being hit by the cannons. And he's now pulling back everybody now to kind of reconsider the cannons and find a new strategy. Did they even fire? I'm not sure if they even fired. I think he's all at full strength. Yeah, he is all at full strength. So I guess they didn't even fire. I don't know why they just popped out there. Must have just gotten close enough. I didn't quite see exactly how far the cavalry got. But anyway, blue is just going to sit pretty up here with the siege weapon and not move. At least not yet. Now, okay. So when dealing with campers, you got to use the terrain advantage. Actually, I'm going to let it go because this is a very, very long battle. So I'll probably never pause it. In fact, I'll be triple speeding it for like half the battle. This is a very, very long battle. Yeah, you want to take your time with campers. No complaints really there. It's not the time that's a factor. You need to take your time, make sure you get the perfect angle of attack and everything. So speaking of angle of attack, look where his European cannons are. And look at their firing angle. You can't see it too well maybe, but look here. Look at these hills. To the left here, I mean, there's just no shot they have if you advance from this side. Over here, it's a flat plain. Don't want to advance from there. They can be shot by the cannons. But luckily for our hero, look at this. Look at this nice little river goalie. He could just advance down this side. No way his cannons are going to touch him. Then just walk up the hill here and have this nice little hill protecting him. And look, no way the European cannons are going to hit him. And the way he's setting up, he's facing just kind of the default way he deployed. So he could actually sneak his whole army through the trees, protected totally from the cannons by the hills, and just hit him here from the side, and negate any numbers advantage blue would have by hitting him from the side and forcing him basically to just collapse in, and then press with his cavalry from the other side, and this battle could be over very quickly. But let's see what yellow's going to do. In fact, I'm going to start triple speeding it right here. Because it's a very, like I said, very, very long battle. Yellow really takes his time pressing his cavalry advantage early and just doing as much damage as he can, being very ginger, just being very, very, very careful, not really willing to throw units away so easily. So here we are just waiting on triple speed. Yeah, like I said, very long. He's going to take his time and he's going to think of a strategy of attack for quite a while here. So I'm actually going to stop filming and we'll pick up when the forces start moving. See, he waits quite a while. So here we go. Here we go. We have some action here. Slow it down back to normal speed. There we go. Okay, now you see cavalry sneaking here through the forest. Now, I mean, I would have sent my entire force through the forest. Why wait around? I mean, early cavalry action is great, but cavalry action with infantry is better. There aren't really any reasons for him to take serious extended cavalry action here, besides the European cannon, but that's pretty easy to take care of. One suicide cavalry charge into a European cannon will pretty much completely neutralize that. One other suicide cavalry charge into the missiles will tie them down or at least get them to move, and followed up with infantry. This could be a very quick battle, but Yellow's just going to take forever here doing what he's going to do, which I do criticize. Like, I'm all for being careful and early cavalry action and such, but there's no use dicking around when you could just send everybody up and finish the battle pretty early. And in fact, it can be bad to you know, overuse early cavalry, especially when you have so much cavalry and then you spend all of it in early action and then you don't have anything left for your infantry. It can actually be a bad thing, because if he just saved all of his cavalry and just moved his infantry and cavalry and went in simultaneously in one fell swoop, this battle would basically be over. Blue has basically no defense against cavalry. He has 2 Great Guard and 2 Yari Ashigaru and a European cannon. One of those is easily destroyable, European cannon. He has so much cavalry, 2 Yari Ashigaru are not going to be able to cover it. And the Great Guard aren't really that big of an issue. You can just send 2 bow cavalry even just to tie him down. And he can just swamp him from either side, especially if he stays in spear wall like he is right now. That's cute. They won't be able to move very fast. Yari Ashigaru is not a very formidable defense if you only have 2 of them against so many cavalry like Yellow has, and especially such a good angle of attack. He just has such a good opportunity to attack. I think it was a bad idea to wait so long and use so much cavalry early when he could have pressed the attack a lot sooner. Meanwhile, we have slow moving through the trees. We will go back to triple speed here. His cavalry has started moving again from the southeast. And we'll just come up and see some bow action early from Yellow here. Let's see, what do we have on this side? We have 2 Yaris, 2 bows, a Yari there. Coming through the forest is a bow cavalry and a Great Guard. Where's this other Great Guard? I think he's back here. Yep, there he is. So, and pretty disorganized too. Honestly, if, I mean, what do you hit with early cavalry action? Missile units? Cavalry, maybe? Should have sent everybody up at one big block and just spread them out and just maybe even just crushed them in from all sides. I mean, an attack that just, an all-out charge on all sides with cavalry would be pretty effective. I mean, look how soft his units are. Mostly lone swords, just the 1 Katana Samurai. Level 5 veteran, but still just one of them. Versus 5 Lone Sword Ashigaru and 4 bows, with only 2 Great Guard and 2 Yari Ashigaru to really compensate. Even an all-out attack right here in the beginning probably would work pretty well, to be quite honest. I think there's just so many options you could do here, and just Yellow was a little overcautious, I think. Maybe I'm too aggressive for my own good, but really, really... In fact, it ends up hurting him by the end. He was so cautious with his cavalry action. And I'll talk about that when we get there. It's going to be quite a while, so I don't know why I'm not fast-forwarding. So here we go. There's something kind of interesting here. The bow cavalry is coming up and hitting the bow Ashigaru. And a decent angle here for both parties, but there will be some movement here. And we're going to see some interesting dynamics using the terrain in skirmishing. But the bow cavalry is going to go all out. Oh, wait, no, that's not the bow cavalry. Bow cavalry is still back there. This is a Great Guard coming up. And it's just going to smash into the soft units. See, I mean, if this was more coordinated, and all of his cavalry were up here, hitting him from all sides, I mean, look, this bow Ashigaru is already down to 89. This Lone Sword's lost about 35 men. He's just, this 1 Great Guard just rampaging into him. But this was bad, because if you're going to throw away a unit like that, send the Yari cavalry up first. Don't waste a Great Guard in this early action if you don't have to. I mean, look, he's just going to be running through. And the problem with what yellow does here is when you're moving, your defense goes basically to 0. I mean, it gets a huge penalty. I don't know exactly what it goes to. I think it actually might be 0. But it just cripples your defense. So when you're trying to move through the enemy forces, they can just cut you down no matter who it is. So look how much damage this early cavalry action did with just one unit. This Ashigaru lost 50 men. This bow samurai is down to 55, about half strength. This bow Ashigaru is below half strength, 57. And this bow warrior monk got hurted, down 8 men to 67 total. And that was just one unit. If he just collapsed in with all that cavalry and just smashed him, I mean, blue could have just been done there. And the infantry would just have to walk in and clean up, and it would have been no problem whatsoever. But he's not going to do that. I think he was attacking way too piecemeal. I don't know why you would just send one unit at a time like that. If you intend on using all of your cavalry, use them all right in the beginning and just give them nowhere to move. And just crush them from all sides. You get the morale penalty for flanking. I mean, you get some serious damage with only Ashigaru, mostly fresh. He could have probably routed a bunch of them too, and then it'd be no problem for his veteran katana samurai to just walk in and just have no problem finishing this battle. But again, yellow's going to be pretty timid here, facing this camper. Yeah, this lone sword's down to 86. I think were there 2 of them that got hurt really bad? Maybe it was just the one. Yeah, it was just the one, I guess. But, way too timid. But he's going to come up here again with a Yari and his other Great Guard, who is fresh. Let's see, I think his Great Guard's pulled back to here. Yeah, his Great Guard here is at 32. And disorganized attack again. Just one Yari cavalry coming up in loose formation. Look how he's just kind of waffling, not sure where he's going to go. Doesn't get a really good charge in. I would definitely, if you're going to suicide your cav like that, put him in tight formation to get a better charge. Loose formation is not good for cavalry, but against missiles it still works out pretty well. And this bow Ashigaru is down to 37, though they only started at 57, so still not a very good charge. Kind of just waffling around here. Again, just an all-out charge with everybody in tight formation. You'd only get off like maybe 1 or 2 volleys before they hit. And with a nice little terrain advantage, look at the arrows hitting the ground there. A nice little terrain advantage, would have gotten maybe 1 good volley off. His skirmishing is good here. Now look at the angle that they have to shoot at the bow cavalry. It's not a very good angle. Yellow has a better angle here shooting at the lone swords, who are at the bottom of this little hill, than the bows do shooting back at him. So he's only taking a couple casualties. He's down to 53, so not taking very many. He's going to shoot into the general now, who is a leadership general, so it's 2 leadership generals facing off here. But the Great Guard is going to chase the bow cavalry back. And if you have a good terrain advantage, bow cavalry have really good armor. You can actually stand and skirmish pretty well. If you have a nice little terrain advantage there, and you don't really need to worry about getting shot up too much, especially if you're just sacrificing them. But look, all of his cavalry is just hanging out here, especially look, the Great Guard are gone. Well, almost. They're kind of chasing out the bow cavalry. If you've been more synchronized, had everybody kind of up here, maybe even taking European cannon shots, who are now firing, by the way. But look, nice move by Yellow, wasting his shots, because most of his cavalry is hidden on this little hill, and the European cannons cannot hit them at that angle. So pretty good positioning there. Should have pulled these back a little more maybe, but he is probably micromanaging on this side and didn't really. So terrain advantages, however subtle, can be quite devastating to enemy missiles. So be sure to zoom in around your enemy and just see those subtle little terrain differences. That can be a huge help when skirmishing. Just those little arcs can make a big difference. Now let's see what's going on here. We have 2 Yari cavalry and a Great Guard. Now Yellow's going to make some pretty serious mistakes here. Oh, there goes the European cannon shot. Let's check out. Ooh, is it firing at the general? It is. And he's going to lose a man. Bad move. I don't know what his general's doing over here. I was thinking maybe he was coming over here to be with the cavalry for a serious cavalry attack. But he's just kind of sitting out here, maybe trying to bait him into wasting shots. But if he's doing that, he's in a really bad position. As you can see, he's kind of out in the open. Cannons have a pretty good arc on him. Should have put him down in the riverbed if he's trying to distract shots. Now anyway, Yellow's going to make some serious mistakes here. Like I said earlier, when you're pulling units out, your defense basically goes to 0. And he, once again, a loose formation charge, not good. But he's going to do a good thing and send 1 right into the mouth of the beast here. And then have another come in from the side. Good work there to kind of pincer him in and get a serious advantage, because look at this. This Great Guard's at 46, this one's at 33 already, meanwhile his Yellow's is at 37. But look, he's just going to keep pulling out and charging, which isn't a bad idea in theory. especially because Yari cavalry is so good at the charges. But against other cavalry, where you're going to have that bonus anyway, don't pull them out and risk losing a bunch of men in the movement when they're getting pinned down like this. So not a really good idea. Look, he's going to pull out the Great Guard too. He's going to lose a ton of men in pulling out. It's down 13. Look at that, down to 14 right now. And he was at like 30 when he pulled out, down 13, and he's just going to be gone. And look, blue is almost dead at that point. He should have just stayed in melee and finished him off. This one's a 22, this one's a 28. And just could have, especially with the bow cavalry shooting at him, he has that morale penalty from being under missile attack. That was a bad move to keep pulling him out like that. I know it sounds like a good idea to get the cavalry charges in, but when you're tied down like that, just keep him in melee, especially against other cavalry, so you can get that cavalry bonus. And just do more damage. Could have routed both of his Great Guard at that point. But anyway, his general is distracting shots. Not doing a good job keeping him out of danger, though. He's down to 19 men in his avatar. So bad job there of staying out of a view of the cannons. I don't know what he was doing. If he's trying to distract shots, he was doing a bad job. Should have been down on the riverbed. Not sure what was going on there. But let's see. This is the bow cavalry. Yes, the bow cavalry is still alive and is chasing off the Great Guard. Would have been a great time for a cavalry attack. Look, the cannon is completely exposed here on this wing. Just needed, even a bow cavalry could have walked in there with one good charge, just wiped out the European cannon. So just really sloppy cavalry action. Not liking that at all. I'm a big fan of early cavalry action, but that's not really how you want to do it. Especially since there were so few real good targets for early cavalry action. Should have just sent 1 or 2 units in, 1 or 2 to hit the bows, and then 1 to hit the European cannon. That's all you needed for early cavalry action. Have the bow cavalry constantly skirmishing, and then just save whatever else you can. In fact, you don't even need like the Yari cavalry and the Great Guard to go in. Just send a bow cavalry at the bows and send a bow cavalry at the cannon. Then follow up with an infantry attack and have your melee cavalry come in from the side, and that battle is over. It took way longer than necessary to win this battle, but the cavalry's going to regroup. I like that. Keep them all together, and they're going to be moving out towards the side of the cannon. So I'll just triple speed, and let's see how this attack's going to go. Still all in loose formation. If you're going to be charging into the enemy, just keep them in tight formation. You only want to keep them in loose formation if they're out. If you're trying to avoid them and you're outside of the range. Otherwise, not really worth it to keep them in loose formation and hurt your charge like that. Bow cavalry, that's fine, but not your melee cavalry. Again, doing an okay job making them waste shots, keeping his cavalry on the move. They're still firing, so they still have ammo, but they're almost out, having only 10 shots. In fact, was that them running out right there? Nope. Oh, was that it? They're almost out, I know it. It says they're still firing. We'll see if anything comes out of the trees. Yep, there's a shot. Ooh, look at that. Nice shot. Got 5 of them. Anyway, and look, I think yellow is just kind of dicking around too much. I guess I've been saying the same thing over and over in this battle, but he just had such a good avenue of attack, coming through the river and hitting him from the side here, forcing him to redeploy. If he can hide him and get him by surprise, he could force him to have to redeploy really quickly, and would be very bad for his Ashigaru army. And just could have swept up here, forced them all into a small area, and then just swept in with the cavalry, and the battle's over. Now I think the cannons are out of ammo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're out of ammo at this point. So look, even now the cavalry could have just swept in. There's a Yari here, and 2 bow cavalry. Look, just send a bow cavalry and hit the missiles. Don't even bother skirmishing, honestly. Could have just sent him in and just gotten a good charge off. But here we go. Yari cavalry is going to get a decent charge off, and they're going to make him waste a whistling arrow. Interestingly enough, good move there to get him to waste that. He's going to get quickly cut down though. Does some damage to the Great Guard. One's at 17 and one's at 21, so they're almost gone. Then you'll have basically nothing to counter a cavalry, though yellow's cavalry is almost gone as it is. Bow cavalry is broken. Look, he's pulling his bow cavalry in, like bringing him in and then pulling him out like that. Just make a dedicated charge, man. You know, no need to waffle around. Don't know what he's doing there. Just not very good early cavalry action. I mean, look, blue is still pretty much intact. What has this early cavalry action even done? Besides make the European cannons waste their ammo? Could have done so much more. Give somebody like 7, how many cavalry units was it? 8? 7 or 8? Could have done a lot more damage. Even just an all-out charge right in the beginning. Could have done a lot more. Disappointed there. Anyway, yellow is still not through with his cavalry. Let's see, what does he have left? A Yari cavalry there. Bow cavalry there. Great guard, that's good. Good unit still to have. And another bow cavalry. So 2 bow cavalry, a Yari cavalry, and a great guard is all that yellow has left. But not too much to show for it. Though I guess he did do good damage to the great guard. They're basically gone. But still, I'm not going to be a broken record here. You know what I'm going to say. So instead, I'm just going to be triple speeding. Yellow thinking about what he's going to do. I mean, he should have had his infantry moving up from the first cavalry attack, but they're still way back there on the hill. His cavalry action and these infantry movements need to be more or less simultaneous. Early cavalry action should be a prelude to infantry action and shouldn't really stand on their own. At least, I mean, generally speaking, especially when he's such a good position to attack. Should have been a lot faster. So yellow will be milling around here. But blue's actually gonna move. Wow. Move up to the top of the hill here, so... Well, not even to the top, so... Not very far. He only has a set number of movement points he can move each day, I guess. There's a limit for campers. Oh, well... His troops are exhausted from moving such a long distance. And they're gonna make it to the top of the hill. Okay. Took 2 legs, but... Alright, they're there. Anyway. Whoa. The Great Guard have been lured out yet again and are going to be going into a bow cavalry. 2 bow cavalry over here. And actually, if I were yellow, I'd probably just throw my bow cavalry away and just kind of good charge off into the Great Guard. He's going to pull him back. Look, bow cavalry's terrible in melee, I know that, but they're still cavalry and they're capable of getting off a good charge, especially against weak and wavering Great Guard. A charge here from the bow cavalry could have at least finished off one, if not both of them. So pretty timid there. Bow cavalry can get off good charges. They're still cavalry and they can still hit you hard. The bows are going to be shooting here again. Red is pulled back into the forest. I don't know why. Why he shouldn't have been up in this forest. Did I say red? I meant yellow. The minimap color is confusing me. He should have been up here in the forest, maybe. Slowly sneaking his troops around. With all that micromanaging that blue would have to do to counter yellow, he could have snuck his whole army up there, and blue probably would have forgotten about him. So I think we're almost ready for the final battle. There goes one. Yeah, blue's down to 1 Great Guard. They ended up routing when they came close to yellow's Great Guard. So he's finally going to be setting up for what I think will be the final attack. Let's see, what do we have? Is that a bow? No, it's a Great Guard going over there. We have a bow cavalry over here, and way off over here, all alone and forgotten, are Yari cavalry. Still in pretty good shape. 43 over here, the Great Guard's at 32, and the bow cavalry is at 46. So we still have some good cavalry numbers to deal with blue. Keeping some reserves, that's good. Blue's going to redeploy slightly, but whoa, don't want to move too fast there. Oh man, whoa, he's moving again. It's just too quick to comprehend. Wow. Such a long distance to move. Setting them up individually, wow. And I love what blue's going to do. I'm gonna love this. This made this whole battle worth. I was wondering if you know, this battle's maybe a little too slow to upload, but then I saw the finish and I was like, wow, I got to do this one because I just love battles that end up like this. But anyway, I think that will be the final deployment. Is that the Great? No, bow cavalry over there, Great Guard over here, Yari cavalry over here, and I think that will be about it. Let's see. Yari Ashigaru is coming back. Guess he was gonna skirmish. Whoa, man, but that's a little too proactive. I don't think he's gonna do it. No way is he actually gonna do it. Nope. Gonna wait just outside the range. Don't want to attack. Whoa, man, he moved too close. He might actually attack. That would just be pulling back now. That would just be crazy. Who would ever do that? Oh my god. Just insane. Actually making a move. Whoa. And was that a fire arrow? I'm sorry, I might have missed that, but I think that was a fire arrow attack. If so, great job making him waste the fire arrows. Gotta love that. A long cooldown on those, so anytime you make them waste them, it's always good for you. They can do serious damage at Katana Samurai, so why not make them waste it shooting at bow cavalry in trees? Hey, why not? Okay, so we're not... I know, it's about saying forever, like I'm running out of breath because I've just been, you know, trying to keep talking. There's no dead air, and this battle just keeps going and going. But, oh my god, was that shattering? There we go, unit's finally been chased off the field. There goes the bow Ashigaru. Finally, doing some real damage and making some units rout. But, making them waste a rally too, thinking his bow Ashigaru would come back. But if they're shattered, they will never come back. So, trying to remember that. But early cavalry action still did some okay damage. The infantry is mostly untouched, besides this one unit of lone swords, which are down to 63. The rest of them are in pretty good shape, though. The bows are pretty hurt. Bow samurai 55. The monks are still fine at 67. And there's the other one. Another bow samurai is pretty hurt at 31, so did something at least. And there goes a bow cavalry. They're gone too. Yellow still chilling in the forest. Back to triple speed. Oh man, how long has this been going? It's been taking forever. Can't imagine doing this without triple speed. This battle must have been an hour. Jeez. Anyway, we're just going to sit and await at the end of this battle. Triple speed. In fact, you know what? I'm going to stop filming and we'll pick it up later. Alright, so that was a nice little break. Yellow has started moving. Taking plenty of time to think of his attack. I think these guys are all in loose formation. Not really a good idea. But against lone swords, maybe not that big a deal. Oh, interesting. What do we have over here? The Great Guard tried to do a little preliminary action, but running into Yari Ashigaru, not really a good idea. But I guess did some decent damage. This Yari Ashigaru is down to 104. So, yeah, probably not worth it. You want to conserve your cavalry for the actual infantry battle, so you can get as big a morale penalty for the enemy as possible. Alright, where was I? Okay, we have the cavalry way back here in the forest. The infantry is finally moving over to the hills over here. This cavalry has been pulled back for some reason. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Anyway, we'll go back to triple speed here for a while. Because blue is still sitting on this hill. Now, I told you this ending would be worth it. And I love seeing battles like this. And I love how this battle ends. I promise it was totally worth that really long wait. Because blue will be setting up accordingly. I say that sarcastically because look at this. He knows that yellow is coming in on the attack soon, so he needs to set up. So what does he do? Instead of facing his force with the brunt towards the enemy that's actually going to be attacking him, look what he does. He sets up this little pseudo box thing, like set. It's like a pentagon. I don't know, he'll get it fully set up pretty soon. It's very meticulous work, one unit at a time. Whoa, don't want to move too fast. It's way too fast here for blues, gotta take it really slow. At least the spears are facing the rear, but not even facing the cavalry really, who's over here, and it's just gonna come up through this angle. And probably just come around here, and are they already in spear wall? No, they're not in spear wall, so they will be able to adjust. But yellow is setting up nicely over here in the forest to the northeast. Blue is finally pulling his little box thing together. He's got the missiles there facing yellow's troops. Let's take a quick look at the terrain, though. I mean, it's not too bad of a shot, but he's got a little bit of hills here in the front of him, which will be giving him a fairly bad angle there on the shot. Meanwhile, I will keep triple speeding. We're almost there, folks. Now, I love watching this when people set up these little boxes. I mean, look at this box. I mean, it's one thing for somebody to make like a spear box, which is silly enough as it is, but making a box out of lone sword Ashigaru, fresh lone sword Ashigaru, that are going to be taking the brunt of the attack of 5 katana samurai, mostly hardened veterans. Oh man, this is just going to be great. I don't think I need to say anything. It'll just be beautiful to watch. But anyway, the cavalry have set up on the rear, coming from 2 ends, which is good, coming from 2 different directions, force them to spread out as much as possible. Blue general, to put the icing on the cake, is going to put his leadership general in stand and fight right in the middle of the box. And here we go. It's finally coming. The last attack. Any second now. Here we go. Doing a good job putting his Yari Ashigaru, which are basically useless now that the cavalry is dead, coming up front. But of the one unit he doesn't have in loose formation, it's the Yari Ashigaru acting as a screen. Kind of silly there, but they do good. There we go, a flaming arrow attack. He's going to make them waste the flaming arrows on some Yari Ashigaru. We're just going to rout anyway. There we go. They finally, yeah, you just put them in loose formation. A little late there, but they're just going to be arrow bait anyway, and probably routed before hitting the enemy force anyway, so no big deal there. They're down to 85, but doing a decent job of staying. But oh, made him waste a whistling arrow too. It only hit one of the katana samurai as a result, so great. Made him waste all that special attack there. But one problem with this attack is the general, who is sitting way back here,
should be closer to the men. Might have been worried about him being shot up by the arrows, but I don't think you really need to worry about that. I don't think Blue is skilled enough to aim for a general and actually order his bows individually. See, they're just kind of shooting randomly. Should have had his general up there with the main attack, because his samurai are going to take some serious hits. This one's already down to 88, and so it's not going to be that great. In fact, look at this. The whistling arrows hit the lone swords in front of them too, so it did about as much damage as he did good. So bad use of the whistling arrows there. It's not really thinking. And now the Katana Samurai are just going to sweep in and try and finish this off. The general is finally moving up since the samurai is wavering, but they're back. They're shaken down to 43, but still holding. Lone Sword Ashigaru are just getting cut apart. I mean, just roasted by these veteran Katana Samurai. They are all wavering at this point. The general is going to move up and pop the rally, so Yellow's forces are in good standing. Should have had the cavalry hitting a lot sooner, but anyway, they're going to come in. Maybe not so bad, because Blue is going to collapse in, and that's going to give the cavalry a good angle from here to just smash into the side and get all of them in one go. And the Katana Samurai have broken through on this side. The Lone Swords are broken, and it's going to hit the Yari Samurai. Now everybody pretty much is tied down on Blue. Should have had the Great Guard going a little faster, but they're coming out soon, so not even a stand and fight can make these Lone Sword Ashigaru stand up to veteran Katana Samurai. They're just going to get thrashed here by Yellow. And see, I mean, that wouldn't have been a hard attack from the very beginning. I mean, look at that. Yellow didn't really have that big of an advantage going into it. I mean, he definitely did, but he just hit him right away, just would have smashed this guy. And this is why camping is so bad. It's not that it's unethical. I think it is. But it's not just that, it's just bad strategy. Don't let the enemy decide the strategy for the game. Or you go up against a competent player and you're going to lose. I think Yellow made a lot of mistakes here, but he was at least thinking strategically, you know, and he had a vision and he knew what he was doing. Like, he had a strategy to deal with this, and even though he made a lot of mistakes, and I don't think he played that well, it was still good enough to beat this guy. In fact, he pretty much destroyed him. Look at that infantry attack. Blue just did not last very long at all. I mean, anybody timing that? What was that? Maybe 45 seconds, and there goes all of his infantry except the one Katana Samurai who, for some reason, wasn't at the front. I mean, you want your strongest units in the front, because when units break, it has sort of a domino effect on the other units, and they get more out hits too. So you want your strongest units in the front, so the weaker ones don't just rout and then cause a chain rout and screw everything up like what just happened. Because if the Katanas were in the front, Lone Swords would have stood a better chance. But they're just going to get destroyed here by the numbers, and all that's left is the general, and he's going to be gone here in like 5 seconds. Is that? Yep, he's gone. Battle's over. Finally. Oh, jeez. Battle was so long. We'll actually go out to the results screen this time. I just want to see how long that battle was. Oh wait, there are no results screen. Oh well. I guess that's all for now then. Thanks for watching. It was a long battle, but thanks for sticking with me, and see you next time. Good luck to you.